Hey everyone, this is Indy and I have a quick update video for you all. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is in response to the most recent disc guide that I put up for patch 4.3. Now, I did a lot of research leading up to that guide, and I know that a lot of you have posted nothing but nice things saying that it was informative and helpful, and I really appreciate that feedback, and I'm so glad that this has in some way helped some of you. I don't intend for it to be a concrete one-sided way of doing things. However, to those of you that responded negatively and said that I'm doing it wrong or I'm giving misinformation, I appreciate your view, but at the same time, I wish when people commented like that, they could maybe back it up with some reasoning or information of their own. Now, because I didn't want to come across as one-sided or uninformed, I decided to do some LFR this evening with my friends Keisha and Scapes. But are you ever going to actually stack it as your primary stat?
Not for like the first, anything other than the last two, just because of how valuable haste is and divine aegis and how it works.
And what I did was, for the first boss, I decided to reforge into mastery. Now, I didn't go all the way into mastery to where I had no crit or haste, but I did favor it enough to take a significant amount of haste and crit away so that I could see the benefits. And what resulted was that I did this for the first fight, and for the second fight, I went back to the Reforger and loaded up my previous profile so everything was back the way it was when I made the video that favored haste and crit over mastery. And I did the second fight. Now, the fights are very close in length, and the uptime, according to my logs, is extremely similar. So I took the two closest fights that I could compare, and I put them right next to each other. Now, before I get into the details of the results, I understand that LFR is going to be a little bit different when you're reading World of Logs because the encounters are much easier, much shorter, but this was just for an experiment of my own. I certainly don't want to go into like a progression raid and test out a mastery heavy disc priest because I truly feel, based on all the work I did leading up to the first guide, that mastery is not beneficial. But I still wanted to test out some claims just to kind of respect the other views of other disc priests that thought that the guide was very one-sided. So that said, the results are this. In fight number 1, where I did favor mastery, the HPS was no higher than in fight number 2, where I favored haste and crit. The main difference is that the proc of divine aegis, the amount healed of divine aegis, was just about half as much as when I favored haste and crit. So really my theory was supported in that when you're a haste and crit stacked disc priest, you're going to be proccing a lot more divine aegis, and they do stack on your targets. So your absorbs in effect will be going up as a haste crit stacked disc priest. If you're stacking mastery or favoring mastery, the only benefit I can see from that, because you're not going to be proccing as many shields, is if you are shield spamming. Now here's where I get to my educated opinion on mastery. If you find yourself in an encounter, say that you're hard mode raiding and you are in an encounter where your role as a healer in that particular application has you doing mostly shield spam or just bubble bombing, then certainly favor mastery for that one use. And you know, like plenty of us have reforged profiles where we can kind of swap between different stat weighting, but as a whole, overall, as a disc priest, you certainly don't want to put mastery above haste and crit. If you do, then that's certainly your choice. And as a priest, as a healer, I mean, regardless of class or spec, those are all choices you have to make. Very dependent on your role as a healer, your healer comp, the actual, encounter that you're going to be taking part in. So all of those factors weigh in on the decisions of your stat weighting, but I still feel confident in the information I gave in my disc guide, in that haste and crit is far more beneficial for a disc priest in a general sense than mastery. And, I certainly love hearing the feedback. I welcome your comments on this, And, you know, certainly leave a comment or send me a message if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment. I do read them all. If I didn't, I wouldn't be making this response. And genuinely, I mean, whether it's good or bad, I learn from all of you, because if you decide to put a thought in my head that maybe there might be a different way, or maybe there's something I didn't look further into, I certainly do that, and then I take pride in being able to bring you, you know, the educated result of whatever it is that we're looking into. So thank you guys. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for keeping me thinking and keeping me on my toes. I really appreciate it. The second thing I want to quickly talk about is my YouTube channel is almost 1 year old now, and I'm really proud of how much it's grown over the past year. You know, I did this wondering if it was really gonna amount to anything, and I am so thankful for the people who follow me, who hang out in my live stream. I'm so thankful for you guys. Those of you that leave your comments and input and, you know, thumbs up on my videos and share them and just keep me motivated. I mean, like, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for all of you. And so that's first off, is to thank you guys. Secondly, if you've never checked out my channel, I would love for you to come visit. The link will be down below, and if you go there and haven't subscribed yet, definitely click on subscribe. The channel is nearing 4,000 subs, and if we can hit that within the next week in time for the anniversary, that would be awesome for me. Now, as with every other update video, I'd like to end with a channel spotlight, and I usually do this to kind of highlight a YouTube channel that I think is particularly awesome and that I think you guys would really enjoy. This week's channel spotlight is going to be The Vegan Zombie, and that's at youtube.com/zombiegate. You guys might be wondering, what is this channel? Like, what on earth is a vegan zombie? Well, you'll have to find out by going there and watching the actual movie trailer. Yes, there's cooking shows on there, and I actually found the channel while YouTube searching for recipes, and on a side note, I have not tried one of these recipes that I haven't absolutely loved. But even if you don't like cooking and you don't like recipes, check out the short films on this channel. They're really good, and who doesn't like zombies? That's all for this update, guys. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for all the great new content I have planned. Don't forget to check out the links in the description, and keep sending me your feedback because I love reading it all. Until next time, this has been Indy with TGN. Thanks for watching. Thanks again so much for watching. Stay blah 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 blah. Oh my god. I'm gonna stop recording now because I can't talk. Stumbling over my words. This video has been part of the Way movement, a career path for YouTubers. To find out more, visit tgn.tv.